Alright team, so welcome to AnyAut.com and the first session for the free training on AnyAut. I'm gonna repeat this because my voice is pretty bad and I don't think I can do justice in terms of what I want to do at AnyAut, but let me try my best. So team, primarily there are a couple of questions. Let me see if I have a poll ready for it. I don't think, but I'm going to create a quick one. And I'm going to ask you one very important question, team. Yep, I think we have a poll. Yeah, there you go. So team, help me answer this. Are you aware what is AnyAut? And do you know what does it do? Because that's important for me to understand the audience and then accordingly be able to talk as to what we should be able to do out here. So team, take another 5-10 seconds please and answer this. It's a very straightforward question that'll give me a good idea about what we're trying to do here. Team, please kindly put your questions on the poll on your screen, not in the chat. I have opened a poll. It's not a chat question. It's on your screen that you got to answer, please. Alright team, I've got about over 90%, 89% in fact, who answered. The remaining 11% haven't. So I'm going to close the poll quickly and share the results with you. Alright, so here are the results team. Can you all see the results? Yes or no in the Q&A please? On the chat. Alright, cool. So it's very equal team. Yes, for some of you know well about AnyAut, just heard about AnyAut, and then almost the same equation for people who have no idea about AnyAut. So that's the audience right now, team. Okay, I need to ask one more question which is very related to this, and that's about your Selenium skill. And this will kind of give me the overall idea of what's going to happen with AnyAut as a platform. It's not just Selenium, but even any automation skill for that example. So team, again, quick question that is, how good is your Selenium automation skill? How good are you in Selenium? That includes Java, frameworks, and so on. It's either great in the sense you're comfortable, like you know the basics and you know what's what. Not bad is someone of you is starting to learn and so on. And then not good yet is basically what's talking about your eagerness to learn further. Alright team, I've got 91% votes in. I'm going to close this and share the results. So here it is team. 10% of you feel it's great. 52% of you feel you're not yet there anywhere close to it. 38% of you feel not bad. And that's the equation we would love to change at IT Learn. That's a constant journey, everyone. Alright team, cool. Last question before I head further into it. This is the easiest answer. Are you a JPACT member or not? If you're currently a JPACT member, it's a yes. If you're not, it's a no. JPACT is our own IT Learns proud product that we're launching. It's a job placement and certified training. So I want to know how many of you are aware of what is JPACT and how many of you are not. Sorry, team, it's not awareness. Are you already a JPACT member or you're not a JPACT member? So it's either you're yes, I've already signed up for JPACT, or you have not yet, or you haven't signed up. All right, team. So we've got about 95% votes for this. I'm going to close and share. So we've got about how many people do we have? We've got about almost close to 60 people in this session today. 38% of you are already JPACT members, and glad to know that because that's kind of a very strong message and very strong core program that you're all going through, and I'm part of it, and I really want to make sure that you're all well geared up. 62% no, you're not a JPACT member, and that's fine. So team, let's go to what we're trying to do today. I'm going to start sharing my screen. And here's AnyAut team. The main website, AnyAut.com. So what do you think AnyAut stands for? Primarily the word, and I've not yet frozen the logo. We still want to make sure that we get the right logo there. We are still developing on that. But AnyAut is a platform. It's a platform where a user can come and start doing automation testing using Selenium with a lot of ease without a knowledge of programming, code Java, or anything to do with Selenium. And how can we make it in such a way that this application can really help the users to take the best out of Selenium automation, and how the Selenium WebDriver can really help. And these are the 4 areas that we focus on, team. How we have used Selenium with Java, how we have created a hybrid framework, how we try to make it very, very user friendly, and at the end of it, how can we create some amazing reports that talk about how the automation testing is performed. So to do this, we've had to know and be aware of a main concept called framework. And framework as an idea team, we've been developing with IT Learn for many, many years. And if you look at our archives, there is one video that talks about all about automation frameworks. There you go. I'm going to put this in chat so that everyone can get an idea. This framework primarily that we built with AnyAut is trying to talk about what do we do with AnyAut, what is it all about, and how do we combine a data-driven, keyword-driven, hybrid page object model, combine them all into one mega framework. And we've got some amazing support with our trainees who attended our training and then built an amazing skill to get onto this. So we have built a framework which is very open source. So when I say this, it is all about how do we create an entire application under test regression testing suite and put that into this framework so that automation is made easy. And AnyAut.com as an application. This is just the welcome page, but we're coming up with the application. I'll show you the development even very shortly. It's gonna give you a great idea on how we're gonna build this and how you can start to learn it. So the dev environment, which is currently hosted with Atomic 77, is here, team. And I'm going to put this link also here so you can start playing around in anything you see as a user and as an end user. You can let us know. You can do a user sign up and let us know your information and sign up. And then you can log in as a regular user and you'll start seeing the most of the details with the application. So the application is very simple, team. The dashboard is coming soon. Only the test setup, about 80% is done. The run setup, test run, test results is a little bit more step over it. So we should be able to get there very quickly. All that we're trying to do is to develop an Excel sheet. Can I ask a question before I go forward? Anyone here from our AnyAut code team, please? AnyAut code team are the members who've been developing this app in a rigorous way along with our team at IT. So we've not built this individually. We're trying to build this along with our students and they're the ones who've done it for us. So anyone from AnyAut code team in this session right now, please? It's kind of a yes, no question, team. It's at 6:59:7. Nope. I don't think anyone from the code team is here. Anyone from IT learn is here? I know that a couple of organizers and some attendees as well. Okay, Shruti is here. Alright, team, no problem. Because a lot of credit goes to them to help build this. So we started somewhere in August of 2016, where I said, guys, listen, I've been building these frameworks, data-driven, keyword-driven, hybrid framework, page object model, page factory, always. Let's put our effort one time and try and build something more concrete. And we've built this entire platform. And we put all the code that we can in Google Drive. So these are the final AnyAut files. And within here, we've come to the version 12. We're going to go to version 13 very quickly, very soon. And this is the file team that I want to look at. So today's session is to just give you a brief idea. The next session is all going to be about how I dig deep and how I teach you about this framework. What does it do? How does it work and make you an expert? I'll talk about why we're trying to do this. It's got a few sheets, team, as you can see. AUT, which is application under test, the modules within any given application, the test cases that are related with each module, a test step sheet which is related with each and every test case, high level keywords, low level keywords, element identification and test data. So these sheets are basically all about how do we take any application and a test and quickly try and automate them. So we talk about the modules and we also talk about what we want to test, and we have a choice to select which modules we want to completely execute or partially and so on. Then we go to test cases and say how many test cases we have for all the modules, which ones we would like to execute in a current regression environment, and then we talk about the test steps which are corresponding to each and every test case. When it comes to test case team, there are only a couple of things which are very critical. I'll quickly talk about that. The main things team are something called as what is it that we want to do, which is part of our keyword. Oops. My pen is too slow there. And then also the element ID. Where is it that we want to do? The keyword and the element ID. These are the two most important things. What we want to do and where we want to do that. These are the two most important things that any step or any single user operation is going to be done. The what portion is nothing but a keyword which is either answered in the high level keywords or the low level keywords. The where we need to do is how we identify the element, be it a user log, username, password field, any link, any button, any image and so on. All that is done in those two keywords as to using those two keywords in the element ID. Test data is basically if I find a field where I need to or we need to enter some information, what is that information? Password, username, email address, phone number, whatever be it. So what we're trying to create with AnyAut.com is a very open source framework through which we are able to say that how quickly can any application and a test go through some of this and how do we do some magic with our amazing tool called Selenium. So that's how it's started to get built at the very basic level, and today we are there on this platform team. So the end of the day, the idea is to fill such an Excel sheet with all the right information, with each step saying what is the module, what test case, keyword, element ID, test data and so on. And at the end of it, get some amazing reports where we get to know the results of an execution. What happened? What step got executed? Where did it fail? If it failed, what is the reason? And what is the test data we used for it to fail? And what does it look like, the application at that time? So this core Excel and then goes to look like a very promising report, and I'll show you quickly in this report.html. With a highly interactive kind of a dashboard which talks about how many tests we ran, how many steps in it, and what failed, what passed, and then we can drill down deeper into each and every test case and talk about what happened in each of them. And if it failed, for what reason it failed. So this is what we've kind of put together as a team for AnyAut. And it talks about the regression testing. It talks about how easy it's going to be to move someone or any project from QTP or HPUFT to Selenium. How we can take a manual scenario and move it to automation. How we can do cross-platform, cross-browser testing with ease. And the whole concept is how can we do all of this with very minimal um, technical knowledge. We don't need to know Java. We don't need to really be an expert at Selenium WebDriver as long as we know how to use this dashboard and how we can use the entire platform to make sense. All right. Now, let's talk about a little bit more for about 2-3 minutes on this dashboard team. And then I'll tell you what we're trying to do here with this free training that's going to start in the next 3 weeks. Dashboard here for AnyAut is still under making. The first tab under test setup will talk about what application is it that we're planning to set up. Just few very easy fields for the user to fill. Then we kind of add multiple modules to the same application under test, whichever we've kind of registered with. Then we go about creating multiple test cases for a specific module. And what are the test cases that are present for that module? And then we create the test steps for that. And we have a concept of high level, low level keyword selection. We choose to see which ones we want to use. Then we have the element map for reusable element maps, the test data for reusable test data, and high level keywords for reusable high level keywords. So what we're trying to do with AnyAut team, let me talk about it briefly. What does AnyAut stand for? This is the first thing. It is any automation. That's what initially stood for. And then I realized it can also be any automation, or rather application under test. The whole idea is a very open source platform that helps to quickly create automation testing using Selenium WebDriver and core Java. We have taken the power of automation frameworks and boosted that into AnyAut. So even a non-techie or a non-automation engineer can start automation quickly. And then this specific thing only requires one thing: how to identify elements using the ID, name, link text, XPath, or CSS attributes. This is the only thing that's going to be complex in this tooltip. And finally, get some amazing reports to showcase to end client / stakeholders on the status of test runs on a functional side / UI as well. For any application under test or system under test. So that is the whole idea, team. Now, then I realized, wow, okay, we're doing this. We're doing all of this to kind of get this going. And how do we get all the skill of Selenium, all the skill of core Java, put it into this app. I can sit at my home in today's world and create any application. I can create a Uber, I can create a Facebook, I could create anything team. Today, the technology is all available for us to create any platform. There are only two main things, team, at the end of the day which stand out. And the differentiators are primarily one, the number of users, two, the amount of usage. So how many of you guys are aware or use WhatsApp? Anyone in this audience who does not use WhatsApp? Because I know it's a large audience who uses it. Anyone in this audience who does not use WhatsApp? The answer for that is I don't. Easy answer, team. You don't use WhatsApp, just say I don't. I'm getting an answer saying I do extensively. Team, all right. So you all use WhatsApp then, right? So there's no one in this audience today. Right now we have almost 70 participants in this session. All of you use WhatsApp, I assume. Right? Okay, so let me ask you the second question. Do you know how much, okay, do you know who bought WhatsApp? Who acquired that company? Wow. Okay. So there are few no's. One question is it Google question mark? And there's a gentleman called Vikas and he's already telling me for how much as well. All right, team. So Facebook, yes, acquired WhatsApp. Maybe about 2 years back. Now, the next question. How much did Facebook buy WhatsApp for at that time? What was it for? $6-7 billion. Guys, come on. Just take a wild guess. That's fine. $200 million. 1.2 billion. All right, team. So let me ask you another question, which is very critical. And I know the maximum times I get a wrong answer for it. How many millions make a billion? Can someone answer that? How many millions is a billion? Okay, 10, 100, 10, 100, 1000, 100, 100. I'm just seeing the answers, team. 100. 100 million is a billion. A million is a billion. That's the first time I saw that answer. All right, team. Okay, so $1 million is big, right? It's like if you look at from an Indian currency perspective, it's 10 lakhs. Not the conversion, but it's 10 lakhs. So 1 lakh is, or 100,000 is 5 zeros. A million is 6 zeros. $1 billion or a billion is 1,000 million, team. Can you imagine that? 1,000 million. So 6 zeros, add another 3, it's 9 zeros. And Facebook bought WhatsApp only for one purpose, that they've got so many users and they've got so much of usage. This sounds good. So let's go acquire them. And they've purchased it for about $19 billion. So the whole point is very simple, team. Anytime you look at products, anytime you look at concepts, the whole hard work doesn't pay out just because you've got a great product. Because you've got followers, you've got people who believe in what you're doing, and the fact that there's a great product with it. And then, yes, because you're right, they decided to kill their own Facebook Messenger because WhatsApp will do brilliant. It'll do better. But they're gonna figure out a strategic way later. They've got users, and that's the most important thing. So unless any platform has users and usage, there's nothing gonna come team. Either for in this case of WhatsApp example that I gave, it's just for the owners because there's no stake with anyone. So what's it for AnyAut? Now, in today's world, we're talking about AnyAut certified tester and developer. So what's the primary difference between an AnyAut certified tester and a developer? AnyAut certified tester knows two things very well. How does this Excel sheet work? What should be entered where? And also be aware very nicely as to what does AnyAut as an app work, how does it work, and how do we go about managing this UI, this web-based application. That's what AnyAut certified tester has to do. AnyAut certified developer needs to know the core Java and TestNG code at the backend that makes all this happen, where we're able to enter information and a test execution happens automatically. That's the primary difference. So it doesn't make great sense for me to just say as you are AnyAut certified tester and you are AnyAut certified developer, or ITLN is promoting or creating this amazing talent pool of AnyAut certifications. What does it do then? How do we make sure? We need users and usage. That's when the money flows later. If you get certified on AnyAut and if it does not have a value in the market, there's no point. If you get certified on AnyAut and you can prove how complex and how what this tool can do, yes, there's a lot of potential in it. And this is how we sold the program called JPACT, which is our job placement and certified training, where we're saying that you get trained on AnyAut, you become an AnyAut certified tester and developer, and then all you have to do in the interview is go talk about your basic experience overall, what you've done in your career, and talk about JPACT, talk about the certification, talk about what is AnyAut. Once you get into AnyAut and say that this is what we've done, that's amazing, guys. Once you can talk about AnyAut, that itself qualifies you to be a great automation test engineer. So, if we need to kind of really evaluate AnyAut and get that recognition in the market, we need users and we need usage. So, to train someone on AnyAut, we need to talk about how this Excel sheet is built, how each and every field in what you're seeing makes sense. What is the information that's going in it? What is a data-driven framework? What is a functional decomposition automation framework? A keyword-driven framework, a page object model, and a page factory. And talk about a hybrid framework, which is AnyAut, all put together into one. And how can we make that happen? Using this UI. So at IT Learn, we said we will do the AACT team certification for free. So when we mean for free, always remember, IT Learn is a business. It's an educational business. And that's today, for the last 3-4 years, is my bread and butter. So I teach training for a profession. That's my main thing. I do have few other business that I run, but they're all backed or depending on IT. So this specific program is launched with an intent that AnyAut will become popular and will get a lot of professionals who can understand what is AnyAut and make them really get certified for it for no cost. Absolutely no cost. This does not mean that we will teach you Selenium. This does not mean that you'll be a Java expert or a framework expert, but we will make you a product or an app expert, how to work with AnyAut as a platform, how to implement it for a client, how you can get going to understand all this. And to teach this will take at least 6 to 7 hours, team. From the basics of how this is built, how the Excel sheet is made, and so on. And that's the reason we kind of coming to this session today to meet and see how we could pass on that information. If you know AnyAut and how it works, and you can take this open source application that we're building and implement it for any client or project or talk about it in interviews and so on, that's our goal. That's our ambition. Nothing beyond that. You go through us for placements or you go through yourself through other companies, that's absolutely fine. But the whole point is how do we make sure that you succeed on AnyAut and how can we capitalize in that market space along with it. For that only reason, my drive is there to make sure that AnyAut is kind of populated, AnyAut goes through that initial pain or teething problems, get more users, and we continue to absorb more audience through it. That's the whole game plan, team. That's it. So the 2 weeks or 3 weeks maybe, we're going to start the training and we want to get as many people as we can. At the end of the day, if there's someone who's joining, attending, going through the whole certification process with us, not paying anything, and do not have to work with us with IT Learn or anything, no hard pain on that. That's fine because they've learned a tool. They'll talk about it. They'll put that place. And just on a very side note, I was in Texas last week, and what I have in Texas is a manufacturing plant, and we are now I've kind of given an order for 100 certification covers for the JPACT members. So the JPACT members who go into the entire long process of becoming some amazing software automation and test engineers globally. Uh, we're creating certificates and each certificate costs a big thing. It's a handheld certificate. You can go put it up in your showcase, you can take it to the interviews, you can talk about it and so on. So that certificate, those certificates are kind of put in order by end of Feb. We'll get that and shipped out to each and every certified member of ours as they go through it. So that's something coming, team. I have an initial picture of the certificate, but I'm not very happy still with it. So I'll give it maybe another 3-4 days before I show you a prototype of what it is. Alright, team. So that's AnyAut. That's the idea of open source training and why we're trying to do that. Now I'm open for questions, team. And just for information, team, we're starting with a new JPACT program. The Job Placement Certified Training. It's a complete in-depth program which will kind of take you through all the nitty-gritties of how to become some amazing software test engineer, more focused on automation. That we're going to start in the next 2 weeks or so. I'm going to discuss with my team, Ashna, Shruti, Manoj, everyone, and we'll come up with that whole plan. And you could subscribe to it if you're fine or if you're good. But then again, I don't use my sessions for marketing or sales. It's only to educate. And then we hope to see who wants to subscribe. All right, team. So now I'll take some questions, please, from you. Use your Q&A section to start talking to us. Okay, let's see. Jagdish, for someone who has good amount of automation experience, not necessarily in Selenium, would you consider offering AnyAut certification separately, that is outside of JPACT? Yes, Jagdish. So this whole program is outside of JPACT. While it's an integral part which belongs to JPACT, we talk about AnyAut Certified Tester. If it comes to AnyAut Certified Developer, it means that you've got a good handle of Selenium, WebDriver, Core Java, TestNG, automation frameworks, and so on. Only then you can become a developer. To become an AnyAut certified tester, you need to know the AnyAut.com app well. And that is what the intent is to build it right now. So you don't have to be a JPACT member or a paid member with ITLN to become an AnyAut certified tester. So you need to attend the 7 hours of training that we're coming up with, and you need to pass a certification test. Is there any material available online for AnyAut? Sharada, not really. But then in our YouTube channel, I've spoken a little about AnyAut in various sessions. Let me quickly show you. youtube.com/qtpelearn. If you go to our channel, and I'm very proud to mention this, that this is one of the only training platform on software testing. It's got about 6.5 million views, and we've got about 35,000 subscribers on it. So that's a great accomplishment, team, because it's a very niche area, QTP, Selenium, manual testing, and so on. So in here, there's a lot of things on AnyAut, team. All you need to do, in fact, the best way to do it is just search for AnyAut on YouTube and you'll get all the videos. One of the prime videos that I think you should watch is what is AnyAut. But again, don't be in a hurry. You can watch and get a basic idea about everything. We're doing this free training anyway. The whole course will put on YouTube and you have access to it. All right. Okay. Shada, that was your answer. Satinder Pal, is AnyAut, it works same like Selenium with different UI? Actually, great question, Satinder Pal. Yes, it does. So it's almost like a Selenium IDE which comes inbuilt with Firefox. It kind of behaves the same, but a little bit more complicated only on one thing. Selenium IDE typically uses a concept called the Selenium server, or earlier called Selenium RC. And it does not use the big thing called Selenium WebDriver. All the steps look the same. Command is what you want to do. Target is where you want to do. Value is the additional test data that you need to provide. And then it helps you to export anything that you do on it. It's all in RC, rather Selenium server. It's not in a WebDriver. AnyAut will help you take it to the next level, more in focus with how we can do cross-browser testing, how can we do parallel test runs, and how can we kind of make the best utilization of automation overall. The only concept there is element identification, which is tricky. Once we get that, I think it's gonna be a better version of Selenium IDE in a bigger sense. When will the AnyAut training start? Reena, we're planning for Feb 20th because I've got a few travel plans before that. I want to do this training and my health has not been well. My voice is very bad. Once I fix this and so on, around Feb 20th. Okay, Jagdish, your question. Does one JPAC stream cover both Selenium and HP UFT automation, or are there separate JPAC streams? Um, we have two JPAC streams, A and B. A goes slow. It covers everything, A to Z, from software testing to automation, testing, functional, regression, performance, everything. B goes on a more fast track. It takes more of AnyAut and Selenium there. So we've got both the streams. AnyAut is part of both the streams. It depends where you are in your software testing career. If you're already in IT or in AnyAut, then you don't have to go for the JPACT regular stream. You can go for the fast track. Okay, question from Suresh Babu. Karthik, AnyAut is for web-based applications supporting all types for browsers, for functional regression and smoke testing, right? Absolutely yes. It is web-based. It will be for multiple browsers. It's going to focus on functional. It's going to focus on regression testing. Smoke testing kind of gets included automatically into it. So team, just as a side deviation, and I'm sorry I've kind of extended the 1 hour program, but what is smoke testing? Do you know the origin of smoke testing, team? How many of you know this? What is really smoke testing? While I look at the other answers, why don't the audience try and give me the answer? What is smoke testing? Okay. High level testing of basic functionality, build verification testing, sanity checking before deploying the build, make sure important functions work, um, quick test to make sure important functionality of the application is working fine, to check whether I'm talking about smoke testing. I'm reading the answers, team, from the audience, to check whether, unfortunately in the GoToWebinar I can't show you what I'm seeing, but hopefully I can take the screenshot. I can do that with snipping tool. Give me a second, please. There it is. I'm gonna kind of cut short the names so I don't have to show the thing. All right, can you all see the responses? I've kind of made sure that I protect the privacy of members with this. So this is what I'm kind of reading. Smoke testing is where overall functionality of build is tested. Make sure important functions work on wider test systems. Quick test to make sure what is the percentage of job guarantee if you take JPAC training. So that's a different question, but the answer is 0% guarantee that JPAC training will get you a placement or anything we do with IT. Guys, come on. It is 0% team. I will never guarantee anything. I'll guarantee you one thing. At IT Learn, we will train you the right way. We'll build the right skill. That is something we'll guarantee you. Not placement. Not making sure that we push you and drag you and put you into a project. It's not part of JPAC. It's not. I've been in IT industry for almost 2 decades. I know the IT industry very well. And there's not just a problem about sales guys or clients. There's a lot of friction that comes through consultants as well. So the whole idea is, how do we equip you well and try and motivate you to get there. But you need to get up, get yourself moving and make that happen. Okay, to check whether the basic functionalities of the application, I'm just reading this answer. Testing to see if build is stable for testing. Testing which is done before the actual testing. So guys, you all talking the same thing. Why is it called smoke testing? Why did smoke come into the picture? Why is it smoke? Why is it smoke, guys? To test fire exists or not. Build list. Why is it smoke, guys? Where is smoke in anything IT related? Asha Golapudi, you've got the right answer. I'll come to that. Thank you. To know the leakage. Guys, where's the smoke? Smoke testing. It test came from electrical. Okay. This test came from electrical. Paramesh, yes. Alright, here's what we happen, team. Maybe a couple of centuries back or maybe 1.5 century back, when we were producing a lot of electronic gadgets or electrical things, producing as mass manufacturing like transistors or radios and so on, they used to do one testing before it gets to the next level of quality certification or validation. And that was put the plug in, look at the transistor or the radio and so on, and smell for smoke. See if anything is getting burnt inside. All right. They used to literally smell it or look for smoke coming out. If there's nothing happening, then it goes to the next level of intense testing. So it's called smoke test. That is how that word came. Some nice learning, right? End of the whole 1 hour session through me. And guys, I have not been built with that knowledge. I've not been trained with the knowledge. It's just inquisitiveness that kind of said, oh, smoke testing, we know this is what it is as an IT guy. But why did it come? How was it called smoke test? This is why it is. All right. So team, any other questions, team, on AnyAut and so on? I'm getting a lot more questions from the members. I'm just trying to look at. I'm from India. Where will JPACT help us to get placed? I'm from India. Okay. Chandrakant, I mean, you're in India, you'll get a job in India. You've got a visa or a permit elsewhere that you want to travel? Absolutely. We're building the skill and we're getting you job placeable. That's what we're trying to do. And if you got the right visa, permits and so on, we're there with you along it. Yes, Asha, you're right. Once anything is added to the motherboard, they check each and every time. Yep. Every component, everything has to be tested. Vandana, testing the environment whether it's stable or not. Okay. Thank you, Karthik. Need to log off now. No problem, Lakshmi. Yes, I didn't know. Karthik, did you prepare these reports? These are awesome. Selenium reports. Oh, great. Vikas, okay. I did contribute to everything. There's no question about it. It's my dream project. It's my dream. It's something that I wanted to do it for the last 4, 5, 6 years, team. I could not get hold of it. Now we're trying to get onto it. So the reports are something, yes. But then we've got the raw data first, which is run results. And then based on these, we're building those HTML reports, like these reports. And we've used an open source called extend reports to kind of put our inputs to it, and it gives us the output. Maybe someday we'll get to a deeper level to talk about these reports and do something more customized. These are from Anshul Thakur, right? No, I don't know myself. Manoj is there with me. Manoj can answer on that. But these are open source reports called extend reports. So they're open source. We've used it. And let's see. Looks like Anshu Arora. That's the name I saw. There you go. See, Anshu Arora. Yep, that's the name. Looks like. Can we email these reports? Of course, absolutely yes. You can. So that functionality we're putting it into AnyAut, where we come to test results. In here, you'll be able to print, email, and so on the reports. Will contain all the reports in them. Because says I like them a lot. You know what? I've never connected with them myself. Never got an opportunity. Maybe sometime down the line, I will. Uh, I'm from a VB scripting background. What should I choose? QTP, UFT, or Selenium or APM for career planning perspective? Pankaj. I can't say Pankaj. I really cannot say. It depends on how is it happening around you. If QTP is not working or UFT is not working for you, then absolutely you should switch to um, Selenium or APM and so on. If it is working for you, then I don't see a need for it to switch. I'm sorry, guys. I think Ruxana, thank you for letting me know. Communication training session is supposed to start already, and I've kind of holding it back. Um, is waiting to start the session. Okay. So yeah, team, any other questions before I end it? So that's all I want to show about AnyAut and so on. Shruti, Ruxana, can you guys let Priya know if she can wait for a couple of minutes before she can start the communication session, please? Thank you so much. What do you foresee as the future of test automation in general? This is what I foresee, team. Selenium has kind of already opened the wave of open source technology and cross-platform, cross-development, um, cross-testing, cross-browsers, and so on. And there'll be tools like AnyAut coming in multiples that will try and take the leverage of Selenium and start working on it. The whole idea is, do we know one or two of these tools primarily well, and how do we take it into the market? Even if you have to do a core implementation right from the beginning, or we have to start working in a project where they use some of these platforms, that is what it's all about. I saw one more question, team, somewhere and I forgot completely. How does AnyAut handle the if statement and the for loops, conditional statement and for loops? Somewhere I got a question and then kind of missed on it. So yes, that's a small challenge, and not small challenge. That's one of the things that we put in as a requirement. How do we loop through certain steps, and how do we take an input from one step to the other step and try and do some verifications? We've done about we've done some progress on it. I think we'll do much more. 1 minute downtime of Walgreen app is loss of 6 million US dollars. So because again, see, apps being down and so on could be because of multiple factors. And we got to recognize our scope of activity to test the functionality, to test the performance, and so on. The servers, connectivity, systems, hardware, a lot of things into it. So we give our validation, we show our validation in terms of how we have evaluated systems using what paradigm or features. That's how we take it. Can we integrate AnyAut with Jenkins? Can we integrate AnyAut Jenkins or Jira or Bugzilla or Maven as a overall build process and so on? Not yet, but once we get some usage going, we will. Sorry, you can. Yeah, at that time. When JPAC starts, JPAC batch A will start in about 3-4 weeks, team. The batch B, which will start more with Selenium, will start in about 2-3 weeks. I'm using LEO reports. How extended reports are better? Sharmila. So Manoj, you can help me with that, my friend. LO reports. Let's look into that and see how are they different from these reports, the extent reports that we got. All right, team, I think I'm almost towards the end of it. Just a very open session. We're not really trying to go deep into anything, just to tell you what it is. And once we do that, and once we get you on board with the training, I think we'll go from there. Any thoughts or plans to integrate API automation into AnyAut? Absolutely, Jagdish. All I wanted to do was start, get the basic things met and going, and then look at progress and how we take it to the next level. How is mobile test automation different from automation in general? So mobile is again very device things. They're native apps, they're hybrid apps, they're web apps on to smartphones. So how do we connect with them? How do we interact with them is the core thing. And a lot of things with field testing, connectivity testing, device-based testing, UI and size-based testing that needs to be done. So it's totally different, guys. Web testing, mobile app testing is totally different. All right, team, I'll let go because my other trainer, Priya, she's waiting to join in for her communications training. So I'll make that happen and I'll see you again. We'll keep writing to you. Thank you so much all for attending. Appreciate you all coming in and sincere apologies for the late start. Thank you all. Thank you so much for coming in. Bye now. Take care. Talk to you later. Thank you all. Bye.